I had the Grim Reaper appear. I would have people say that when they walked past me, I smelled like a dead body, a burnt flesh. I, you know, I would hear Maria Tavares herself say, "Not I want you dead, I want you to stay dead." So something happened. With that being said, it's like a confluence, and it's very unfair because, you know, I even before I became home, when I was living in America Mile, even before I did cop locking, cop watching, I would give people money. I remember putting the sex work in the motel, nothing, wanted nothing, and I almost want to fucking break my phone, man, because it's fucked up, the unfair treatment I'm getting in the spirit plane, including from fucking God with regards to this situation. It's like I'm being halted when I try to improve shit at every fucking pat. And I get no fucking help, and instead, it's shit that's designed to torture you. If you want to get help, you know, you got to keep. You can't think anything. We're going to wait till you wake up so you can be tormented even more. And we put your broken spirit, energy, body back together to where you're made to feel every fucking thing in your inner body, which is torture. That's what my Archangel Michael puts me through. I wish I could drop his fucking docs. You know, my spirit body is so fucked up, I actually choked him. It's just unfair, evil shit that says refrains over and over again about, you know, you're supposed to stay stuck. You ain't supposed to get back. You ain't supposed to get this. You know, a lot of people in that August 22nd, 2022 timeline, I saw celebrities like The Rock and shit, you know, fucking with little girls and all that shit.
So chillingly evil. Okay, who is next?
Hi guys. My name is Roy, and for the most evil invention in the world contest, I invented a child molesting robot.
Piece of gay shit I heard that don't want you back. Illuminati blocking you, and you know, I just want to make sure my parents, and I've seen that timeline, they're not in a good place. I'm not big on money. I'd give away all my shit, but it's all this, you know, this energy of you ain't worthy of shit that I'm getting from these spirits. You ain't deserving of good things. You know, Baron Samedi want me to stay under fucking curse and under heavy energy. You got to change who you are. They don't like the fact that, you know, I'm a good fucking person. They wanted me to be more materialistic to get back in that timeline. I'm not that type of person. I don't mind great surprises and shit. And, you know, they putting it out there like, oh, you know, she didn't work hard for shit back. All this materialistic shit. Even though my consciousness was fucked up by Baron Samedi back in the early 2000s, you know, I would, you know, endlessly, seamlessly, you know, go and apply for jobs at news stations, trying to become a news anchor, a reporter. I remember I did an internship for New England Cable News Network back in the day. I did WSHO 800 AM in New Orleans because I have that broadcaster's voice. And I feel shit trying to remove entity attachments to that. I got to do something to get rid of this shit. Every time I fucking do, I get discouraged. I told you, you're going to lose your spirit team. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose that. And it's just Maria Tavares, you know, the road spirits ain't perfect, but certain shit goes against their nature. And if I lose them, she'll take over and shit. And I don't want that because they the best spiritual protection I got and the only accurate. The rest of them don't give a damn and ain't trying to fucking help me out. You know, only after pushing did they start wanting to give me some of my blessings, and not even that. When I was, before May the 1st, 2024, they weren't trying to do shit but make me as dead as possible and keep that thing that's in my fucking body alive. But I did, a traffic scan in New Orleans, and that's how I know a lot about Clear Channel Radio. And I want to get back to preaching online. If I happen to make money or become famous, that's cool, but it's just, I want to drop docs on some more of my so-called spiritual protection, but I don't want to lose any more consciousness or get fucked up. So I'm afraid to do so. But it's like the perfect, I had a past life father who was Swedish, going back to the early 2000s, who, like I said before, I kept having recurrent dreams of me and a couple of other kids back in 1991. Mind you, he didn't blow up until 1997, meeting Jay-Z backstage before a concert. And that meant, I felt rape was involved, and I thought it was MK Ultra, but turns out it was him stealing me and a bunch of kids' blessings. I had him sign off on taking the blessings, giving my blessings, which was to make, do very, very well in life, to a Bianca Zapata, a girl in the 4th grade who stole my shit, and from what I understand is working in that August 22nd, 2022 timeline for a Fortune 500 company, doing patents, making $300 million. And I tried to get that back with no avail, because from what I understand, she's related to master magicians. I'm trying to figure out, I heard they put this shit on me. I don't know. These roach attachments. This is very scary, and it's a very unfair ending to, I keep having this shit try to reincarnate me along with my parents. It's evil shit. And some gonna have to come to a motherfucking head. I'm afraid to go to, I'm thinking about a Reiki, healer, or, because I got to get this shit off. It's all this evil shit that's bringing me to the fucking point of death, to the point where I may fucking die. That shit with saying the word thing, and then yesterday, last night, with them entities coming in to my consciousness and, having them come in, and then I start feeling sensations once they enter by manipulating your consciousness and opening up portals into it. I felt that last night, where you get pulled into a roach realm, and I smelled puke and was about to see giant roaches, but my roach spirits was protecting me as much as they could, along with the orishas. It's just soul ties with, when I saw these wetbacks here, August 22nd, 2022 timeline, living in the Pacific Palisades, while I'm doing okay, but I ain't getting my money. I'm being fed off of. Everybody loses one or two blessings, but even Santa Murthy, I was told, when she saw the trajectory of my life, she felt sorry for me. She's been the only motherfucking God to really help my ass out, along with Oshun and all of them. And the real Bear Insanity, and, my parents who've, going back to the August 22nd, 2022 timeline. I remember seeing them on the, share a bus and all that shit, entity attachments of them cognating to this future. It's sad and fucking depressing. It's really sad and depressing to get fed on like this, where you're going schizophrenic, you've been homeless, from what I understand, them two motherfuckers here living in a car, and you know, they heard about my blessings coming and their trajectory in life was supposed to be, you know, prison the pipeline, dying, going through shit. Same thing with Zendaya in that August 22nd, 2022 timeline, becoming a prostitute and all of that. And from what I saw, she has a black card from the Illuminati and all that shit. And she, something about, you know, becoming the next CK, and she's getting that along with my powers. And I never gave her that permission. You know, you can use 446 hertz frequency to get your powers back, but because of this Maria Tavares and all this evil shit, at one time Baron Samedi, his entity attachments and shit, I get inundated within my own energy spirit body with entity attachments that blocks me from being able to accurately get my shit back. 295 hertz is the best thing, but that Maria Tavares blocked me from being able to use it. But it's very, very fucked up. I keep hearing this say it's all a wash. She's done. She's dead. She as good as dead. God done given up on me. Nothing wants to help me out. And every time I do, they insist that I stay awake. And they do it in a manner where they know they could torture me. And, you know, because this is an ongoing thing and they'll never end, you know, it's just like you can't stay in a state of mind like I was able to do the other fucking night and, you know, hold your thoughts and wait for healing, or like when I was fighting that shit. And they expect you unfairly to do it. My so-called spirit, I could have brought a mop. I already had a mop. I didn't know that. I brought 2 mops. Should have known when I had everything else, but... You know, basically it's people who are stealing my shit and putting their karma on me. And having a lackadaisical fucking spirit team that's don't give a fuck, that's letting it happen. So even if I go to a Reiki healer, who's going to be in charge of maintaining shit fairly? I'm going to have to deal with Baron Samedi and his curses again. I'm going to have to deal with an Archangel Michael that's to some degree indifferent. I can't contact my father because every time I contact my father's Godhead, going back to that August 22nd, 2022 timeline, he all fucked up. But he'll try to fight that shit off as best as he can and connect to alternate versions of himself. That's what I'm dealing with. You know, I got my energy body all... This is the most evil shit. I can't even wear my fucking satanic ring. I was told that some shit about, you know, my Ars Goetia demons went to Jacob Elordi or some shit. If I wear that, my shit, my entity attachments that are crucial to my consciousness becomes exposed. I couldn't wear my other motherfucking ring. That I got right here. And that keeps you more solid. It's just, it's like a confluence of evil ass shit that wants to keep you down and hold you down and not let you come up. You know, every time I find a cure, you know, find a remedy for something, I'm discouraged from using it by an evil-ass, vicious spirit team that insists on you being tortured so you can get healing. And I even heard my Archangel Michael say, I don't give a fuck what happens to her. Whatever happens to her, that's on her. And heard it at the beginning of this curse. I was told he came in when I was 2 years old. Large part of my identity. You're connected to these beings. It's not easy to just give up your spirit team. You can't let them go. But like I said before, it's very fucked up. You know, it's a bunch of evil ass people that's feeding off of me. Like that yin and yang balance. Somebody got to suffer for them to come up, stealing your shit so that they can come up. And keeping you under heavy fucking curses so that they can maintain it. Meanwhile, you going through hell. And I just, I'm getting closer to the point of fucking death. That was a reality call when not only last night, when that woman took her entity attachment away where she was using to feed off of me, these people here, but now feels her removing it again, the highest self. Use 694 hertz, 695 hertz to see. It's a bunch of now, if it wasn't for this curse, I wouldn't even have known about all this shit. And I feel frustrated. It's a bunch of evil ass people feeding off of me as a fucking, forgot how, as a sacrifice, and it's just in the spirit team that don't care and lets it happen, and the God that don't give a shit. It ain't my connection to my original God, and it's just, it's very fucked up. Part of it comes from the people who are the highest selves. Archangel Michael, along with my dad, tried to change that yesterday, but at my pride, and more so my dad really, been helping. It's the only help I got, and I keep getting cut off from that. It's just, I can't articulate how evil this shit is. Talking about, your next life, daddy is shit. Fuck it. These my dad, man. Napoleon Williams Jr., Linda Williams. That's my parents. Fuck this nigga that's showing up along with a white bitch. I know I sound schizo, man, but all this shit's mad fucking accurate, and I gotta emote. I can't hold this shit in because it hurts, and my consciousness is so fucked up I can barely cry. That's why I'm just gonna start doing videos and not listening to this evil shit. That's the most evil ass shit you can think of. And I've had many people look into my stuff and say that's the most evil, malicious shit you can think of, is being made a sacrifice for motherfuckers to come up off of, and having a spirit team that lets it happen and insists that it should happen for no other fucking reason than jealousy and indifference, apathy. That's why I blamed them at the start, and then cutting you off from your ancestors who care. I had two ancestors, black ones, that came in, and, that Baron Samney, along with this Alex Nascimento, brought him in as if he tried to separate me from. Back together after, one of my ancestors, Marie Laveau, and Baron Samedi, the original, the real one who lived, were taking my soul consciousness and mixing it with them people so I couldn't accurately get put together. It's like I can't trust my spirit team, my real one, to put me back together. That's why I'm relying on them roach spirits. It's a fucked up situation to be in. And to see the trajectory of your life where it'll be lived in tragedy, where, again, you got motherfuckers thriving off of you. And meanwhile, people who did you wrong That's just that Alex Browderman, he has to go. That's the most evil fucking thing you can envision. You know, I even had that fucking Maria Tavares compromise my black kyanite energetically get in it. Her whole self was in it. Have shit not give a fuck about you. It's the most evil fucking thing. And the dude, crazy, psychotic, schizophrenic, this shit, the shit gotta end. That thing with Santa Muerte, I kept hearing her say, we're gonna get you, and having emissaries of her. Why? This shit shouldn't be happening. I'm not a bad person. I don't deserve this shit. Not even the worst rapists and murderers get this type of treatment. It's a confluence of selfish, evil-ass, malicious fucking people that like sacrificing people along with a spirit team that don't care that's making this shit possible. So let me go ahead and try to throw these cards as best as I can. And I'm going to put it on Instagram. Every time I put shit on Instagram or something, I energetically feel shit coming into my spirit body. I got to get my shit repaired, and I got to some degree get blocked from taking my own advice from this evil, malicious ass shit. I want to go back to wearing my ring. I'm talking about Jacob and Lord. He got my fucking Ars Goetias, and they staying over there. It's like all this favoritism for shit that sacrifices you and marauds off of you. I saw Madonna, her higher self, Lord's Urantine. I'm supposed to rely on that as the higher self to buffer that fucking woman, Maria Tavares. It's crazy. But it's real. This is real. I'm not gone. My consciousness is fucked up, and it gets fucked up every single day, and I get further and further away from myself and my essence and my true being, who I am, my identity. I got to do something. So I'm going to start doing videos every single day like I did when I was living at that YMCA shelter. Very, very nice shelter and very cool people there. And, you know, like I was doing way back in the day before all of this shit happened. I hear this shit say quiet. So anyways, we're going to throw these cards. So let me use my third eye. It's all fucked up. To see what's going to happen. I almost was about to say, I don't see myself there. That looks so nice. I'm going to get one that represents my ancestors right there. All right, today I see great upheaval, but I see great opportunity coming for you. And I see great things coming in your path, coming in your direction, coming your way. I see a lot of blockages coming your way. This is so nice to use my third eye again. This shit makes it unsafe for me to use my third eye, so bear with me. I see people who see great things coming for you and creating hindrances to block you from getting there. I see you taking a very egregiously wrong path that's going to fuck you up. I see you doing something that's gonna, you know, every time I start doing these vids, this shit starts fucking with me. Like they don't want me exposing shit. I see you making a turnabout that's gonna send you in the right direction. I see you getting a more stable ground. I see something throwing you off path, so beware of deception, something that's going to supposedly help you, but be very careful of that. And I see you coming up. So with that being said, let me go ahead and throw these cards. It is cold as a motherfucker in here. It's a lot colder after that. That shit was scary. So Ace of Swords in reverse. This is depressing. My spirit team is supposed to be my spirit team is depressing. Everything is depressing. All right, so in the obstacle position, I feel like there's shit around you that's stymieing you from going in a certain direction. So be very, very perspicacious, aware of that. With that being said, in the present position, I feel like there's something hindering you, but you're not letting it block you. In the future position, we got the Page of Wands. I feel somebody or something is coming in your direction. I feel like it could be a feminine, a female with very masculine energy that's going to come in your direction and help you out. That's another thing too. Truth Circles used to talk about this. You know, I ought to start going back to the gym and working out because it helps take your mind off of shit. It's a shame I gotta take the bus while they got these motherfuckers coming up off supposed to be my shit with fucking Lamborghinis, going back to the August 22nd, 2022 timeline. Miata's going back to that May the 1st, 2024 timeline. I'm so tired of even discussing this shit. It's just ad nauseum. So right here in the subconscious, we got the Lovers. And I feel like you looking to reunite with something or somebody that can bring you great help. And be careful of deception. So anyways, right here, for the Ghost position, we got the King of Pentacles. And I feel like there's something very evil and ogreish. That's the energy that I'm getting. Let me put on my fucking jacket because it's man fucking cold up in here. I keep the window open here so I can get positive energy coming in. You know, they talk about in Islamic culture how negative spirits thrive in environments where, you know, it's kind of like with this shit here. They don't want shit out in the open. They want you to keep quiet about things and intimidate you. And they want you to stay in the dark and keep all your problems, keep everything about them cloistered within. So anyways, right here, we got the King of Pentacles. And I feel like there's something very evil that's overlording you, that's judging you rather very, very harshly and wants to block you. So right here, it's another thing too. I keep hearing this shit. So you supposed to be, you know, from what I understand, they say that you supposed to put yourself back together. Some great I'm kind of spirit team, man. It's schizophrenia. Y'all supposed to be responsible for my inner engineering, like Sadhguru would say, my inner body. I'm not supposed to be doing that shit. You know, I mean, if it, you know, ancestors, which I keep getting blocked from, are supposed to do that shit. Got an Eve ancestor that Maria Tavares took. 694, 695 hertz to see. That's not for me to do. That's, I can use frequency, but I mean, if you being inundated with fucking entity attachments that block and confuse and block you from being able to accurately get put back together, and it's, you know, I remember, you know, a while back taking almond oil to get my shit back, and just in that, and ever since I've been stuck within my body, and it's just done gotten worse with this shit. I remember when that Alex Browderman entity tore down my soul consciousness, and then Baron Samedi had really had Maria Tavares or something tore me down to my subtle body. It's just getting worse and worse. Alright, so anyways, right here in the advice card, we got the King of Swords, and I feel like that bitch feels Teflon, like she can't get caught. Something about that bitch. So if I was to get a picture of it in the physical, it would help, or something, you know, because person's higher, the highest self is connected to the corporal body, and that's what gives them life. So maybe have it changed out on her. So anyways, with that being said, we got the King of Swords. I had that evil ass shit steal my soul consciousness last night and rearrange it. I had them do something where they took all my consciousness, soul consciousness and everything, like Archangel Gabriel and theirs, who set it up for them to take all of that shit, all of my blessings. Who was along with my Archangel Michael, supposedly, you know, acting like they were in my favor. And I had them steal my soul consciousness and every fucking thing when I woke up. And I felt empty when I woke up. And they were coming in like they were helping me. And I saw, you know, like I did the other night when I came back from Walmart on Monday. You know, like these people here. My consciousness, soul consciousness, took all my blessings that's attached to me, my consciousness, my soul consciousness, my body and all of that. Use 694, 695 hertz to see. I feel defeated. Talking about setting me up as a prostitute in the spirit world, meaning they constantly fleece you of shit, everything. And that's from what I understand that Archangel Gabriel that came in yesterday used 694 hertz, 695 hertz to see dead. I didn't consent to any of this shit. I even had something come to me in the spirit plane for a soul contract a long time ago. I talked about it here. I be having shit open up gates to my soul conscious. I gotta do something about that Maria Tavares. That's the worst of it. But all of this shit. Somebody have to get the keys. Nah. My apartment door is all fucked up, so I know this should be missing at times. It started getting fucked up when I started wearing my MAGA hat. You know, people have curses placed on them all the time, but they have a supportive spirit team that works with them to put them back. And I do all this evil ass shit like what I got. Alright, so with that being said, right here we got the Two of Swords. In the Two of Swords, right there, and that's the energy that surrounds you. I feel like fate has it set up, like the shit tries to do with me, where you can go in a direction that's auspicious for you, and you have shit that's trying to get you to go in a really, really fucked up direction that's not auspicious for you, but propitious for them. So with that being said, for your fears and hopes card, I feel like you sit at the precipice of success, but you're letting bad... Be careful of who you take advice from. So for the outcome, I see that. Could be physical. Hopefully that's not the case with me. Like this shit has tried to bring me down to so many times. And I see you getting to a point. And you can take vitamin E with this shit, and that actually helps strengthen your consciousness. Well, more so the iron tablets. I had to take 5 of them to strengthen my shit. I see you coming to a place, you know, I heard one time like my Archangel Michael wanted me to come to the fucking brain of death so he could start putting me back together. That's how bad this shit is. It's curses that I got. So anyways, that's notable to me there. I'm sorry for sounding psychotic. It's fucking me up. That's why I went to a reading in the first place and got fucked up. That evil bitch. So I feel that a conclusion is right around the corner. I feel that it could spell death, but I feel like the worst is going to get averted. So with that being said, if you want a more thorough tarot reading, please contact me at ravenbytarot22@yahoo.com. I'm going to have to become my own god. Fuck a god. Put myself back. This is evil. Now I want to mention here, that these people here take over my whole consciousness by fucking with my entity attachments. It goes back to what I was saying before about being made a sacrifice by them and wanting to control my entire consciousness so that they could take all of my blessings and stuff using the ancestors. Use 694 hertz, 695 hertz to see. Putting a karma on me and all of that. It's really, really fucked up. That being said, just briefly.